Hello YouTubers, this is John Franklin and I'm back for my second review of Jurassic Park, which is The Lost World Jurassic Park 2. So in this one, Jeff Goldblum has returned, but not Sam Neill and not Laura Dern. But the character who played John Hammond is back in it too, because he actually pretty much tricks Ian's character, Jeff Goldblum's character Ian, to actually go to a different island. Because even John says to him, he's at the beginning of the film, he's pretty much, his character is actually real sick. He convinces Ian to actually go to this island, he says, which is Side B. And what happens is that it turns out that his girlfriend, played by Julianne Moore, who I have to say was definitely a great, just like Steven Spielberg as a director, she was always a great actress in the 90s, and she was even very good in Hannibal. I have to say back in 2001, and then she kind of seemed like she kind of died down with her acting, it seemed like, at least good acting, it seemed like. So anyways, Ian finally, pretty much, gets convinced, it's like, okay, fine, I gotta go get my girlfriend Sarah. So what happens is he ends up, gathering up a couple people. One character played by Vince Vaughn, who actually is pretty good in this film. I'm not exactly, just like Ben Stiller, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Vince Vaughn, but he actually is, I'd say him and Jeff Goldblum are probably the two best in this film. And actually, overall, this was my favorite of all three Jurassic Parks. Even though I would say that you could definitely tell in the second one, unlike the first one, that you could tell that it's a special effects movie. You could tell that they're standing or hanging or whatever on like cables or wire in front of a green screen or a blue screen. But yet I really like this one because of the death toll went up. The action was it was more action packed than the first one. Except it did go a little bit cliche with a lot of characters that you just knew were going to die, characters that you just hated, and you were just so, pretty much, you were cheering in the theater. I remember back in like 97, at least I was one of those ones, like, yeah, all right, I'm glad that particular, person dies and all that stuff. And I gotta be honest with you, that was a little bit of its downfall too, but yet I still like the film. A lot of it, I have to admit, that with the dinosaurs again, you couldn't tell that was special effects, but there was one time where they were in a trailer. It was Jeff Goldblum's character, Julianne Moore, and Vince Vaughn's character in a trailer, and they got two dinosaurs pushing the trailer over a cliff pretty much. Well, they of course eventually escape through one of their friends who pretty much sacrifices himself, who dies by these two dinosaurs. But what happens is you could just tell the trailer kind of goes, they're hanging on a wire here, on a rope, all three of them, and you see the trailer kind of go right through them there pretty much, or I should say they kind of stay in the middle and the trailer goes that way. And so what happens, you can just kind of tell the explosion was just so, so special effects, so cheesy a little bit on that one. The biggest person that you definitely did not like was John's nephew. He pretty much was the villain of the film. I mean, you pretty much thought, oh my god, this guy's pretty much, and excuse what I'm about to say, this guy's pretty much a dick or an asshole at the very beginning of the film, but maybe he's just one of those kind of characters. Well, it turns out he actually ends up being pretty much the villain of the film, and you pretty much know that right away kind of thing. It's like he wants to pretty much make his uncle's dream come true and all this stuff. Well, of course, it ends up pretty much going all Godzilla, pretty much. They end up getting this dinosaur, one of the dinosaurs, to San Diego. Well, what happens? San Diego pretty much gets destroyed a little bit here. Well, what happened with Godzilla in King Kong in New York? Well, New York got destroyed for a little bit. So that kind of thing. It just wasn't the whole beauty killed the beast kind of thing, So the thing is that I really enjoyed this film. Like I said, my favorite. I liked them all. There were a lot of cool things. Spielberg came back to direct this one again, and I have to be honest, I was very pleased with his direction. And like I said, Jeff Goldblum, Vince Vaughn, they were fun in this film. But of course, like I said, all the disaster goes through, but it was so much more cliche. But yet, I really have to say I did like this one a lot better because more of the death toll and stuff like that. The first Jurassic Park, awesome, like I mentioned. A lot of great great characters you felt sorry for. You're thinking, that's the one that should have been my favorite. But something about this one I really did like. Probably, you know, like I said, more action-packed and all that stuff. And that's what I really thought was great about this film. So thank you guys so much for listening to another Jurassic Park review. I believe we got about another 2 weeks or so until Jurassic World comes out. I can't wait. Honestly, I really can't wait to see how this one will play out, and will it actually be, you know, better, you know. So we shall see how good it is compared to the previous 3 Jurassic Parks here. So, well, thank you guys again for listening and watching this video. Please subscribe, like, please comment, please share to everybody out there, Facebook, Twitter. Like I mentioned with the first Jurassic Park, anybody who's a blogger out there, you watch this video, please share the video on blogging, you know, please blog about me, tell me how, you know, please, I mean, hopefully people will still come up, you know, all that kind of stuff. So everybody, have yourselves an awesome time, and you know, I always do, and I will be back next week for Jurassic Park 3. You take care, everybody. Bye.